Well, that's very important. Their financiers, terrorists and their financiers. The government, not just this government, even previous administrations have always shied away from mentioning who the financiers of terrorists are. It's just been lip service paid to it, and we hear them say we're going to or issue threats that they would mention who these financiers are. And Nigerians are saying, come on, it's time to name and shame, because we believe this would help, curb this trend of terrorism if you cut the vein that passes the blood, to these terrorist activity.
The lifeline of all terrorist activities is finances. That's why not just the United States, the rest of the world try to look at money laundering and terrorism financing. There have been laws in different countries of the world to deal with terrorism financing. When you cut the finances from them, it dies naturally. And it was through terrorism financing that the United States of America was able to end ISIS, because before then, ISIS were getting funding. Otherwise, you will look at ragtag people in the bush, and you see more than 200 of them holding AK-47. How much is it? Sometimes you even see them using high-tech advanced surveillance system, drone system. Where did they get it from? They are not in the city. And then sometimes you see them with military fatigue. Where are they getting it from? Is the financiers. Now, as a country, over time, the people financing terrorism would have been exposed to government. For whatever reason, government hasn't or were not able to take the steps that was required. President Tinubu is not going to tolerate that. You see, because when terrorism thrives, even the legitimacy of your government is threatened. And terrorism does not support the progress of humanity. Anywhere in the world where there is where you see there are terrorist activities, check that country, they will never make progress. You will make one step and you come back two. Now, in Nigeria, that's why what the president decided to do a few days ago when he declared state of emergency was to ramp up. And we have always believed that Nigerians will solve Nigerian problems.
That's an emergency in security.
Emergency in insecurity, dealing with that. We have limited manpower. Both in the soldiers and in the police, we've been saying that, both of which are less than 300 each. And especially the police is less than the recommended police to civil populate ratio, right? So now police intended to raise 30,000 in recruitment. The president ordered additional 20, so we're going to have 50,000. For the army, I think there is about 20-something thousand. The police that were attached to the VIPs that have now been recalled, sent to the front line after training, are now going to add, I think, about 11,000 or more to the system. The training and retraining of these police officers for the purposes of what we're trying to do will be done in the places where we used to have NYSC, right? Even the Department of State Services have been tasked by the president to also increase the recruitment number and then push people to support the forest guard, because it is this our porous border that these people thrive from. But in order for you to succeed in that, right, we look at their soft target, because asymmetric warfare, usually it is taking advantage of soft target. It's not like conventional where you see people on this and this. They will never match Nigeria, right? But when it is asymmetric, you also have to be strategic. Now, for now, they have shown that their soft targets are schools and children. Then second, they look at religious bodies. You know what the president said? With respect to the churches and mosques, they have to raise their security vanguard and become conscious of that. With respect to the school, we now go back to the Save the School program under the office of the Safe School Initiative, which is domiciled now in the Ministry of Finance. Now they are bringing the effort to bring back schools that are in outskirts into the cities, so we can have them embedded into what we call the mega school, right? Then those ones that are very, very far, local government and far places, they will now be integrated into the unity schools. We're looking at that. All of that is possible because the war of Boko Haram is the war against Western education. And we cannot close schools. Like all over the country, schools are being closed just because of this element. No, we're reinventing ways by which people will continue to learn while we find ways of dealing with this.